Sticking with a modern miracle once again, a communion host was dropped at Mass in Legnica, Poland in 2013. In St. Hyacinth's Church in Legnica, Poland, during Holy Mass on Christmas Day 2013, a host accidentally fell on the floor during the distribution of communion. It was immediately placed in a container with water and closed in the tabernacle. St. Hyacinth's priest, Father Zombria, said that on January 4th, along with other priests, he went to see if the consecrated host had dissolved in the water after nearly 2 weeks. He said that immediately we noticed that the host had not dissolved and that a red spot covering a fifth of its surface appeared. We decided to inform the bishop, who established a special theological scientific commission to analyze the event. We noticed that over time, the stain on the host changed color from deep red to red-brown. The sample was taken directly by the scientists on the 26th of January 2014. For the priests, the miracle was evident. The commission checked to see if there was fungus, mold, or other external agent. The Wrocław Forensic Medicine Institute immediately excluded the presence of bacteria or fungi as a cause for the host turning red. A second histopathological analysis pointed out that some fragment seemed to belong to myocardial tissue. An additional opinion was sought using the same samples at the Institute of Forensic Medicine and Siegen without specifying where the samples came from. The Institute used a different analysis method. After the analysis, the Pomeranian Medical University's Department of Histopathology in Siegen announced that tissue fragments containing fragmented parts of cross-striated muscle was found in the histopathological image. Doctor and cardiologist Professor Barbara Engel, who was one of the scientists involved in the scientific analysis, said during the press conference, quote, "The material was analyzed using UV rays with an orange filter, and the results were univocal. We have identified myocardial fibers, typical of myocardial tissue, with alterations that often appear during the agony. Univocal means spoken with one voice. A theologian might say agony during scourging and crucifixion." The results of the analysis were presented to the Vatican's Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith, which recognized the supernatural nature of the event. It is striking that the examination results were very similar to those of Lanciano in 1700 and other miracles that occurred recently, Tixla, Mexico in 2006, and Buenos Aires, Argentina in 1996. On April 17, 2016, following the instructions received by the Holy See, the new Bishop of Legnica announced during Mass that the parish priest, Father Zombra, should, quote, "prepare a suitable place for the exhibition of the precious relic so that the faithful can express their adoration properly," unquote. As the longtime radio personality Paul Harvey would say, and now the rest of the story. The fact that the Legnica miracle happened in a church dedicated to St. Hyacinth is significant. St. Hyacinth was a Dominican saint who was dedicated to the Eucharist and who also experienced a Eucharistic miracle. When the fierce Mongolian troops reached the outskirts of Kiev, now the Ukraine, in 1240, St. Hyacinth took the ciborium containing the consecrated hosts and headed for the back of the church. Then he heard the Madonna statue from near the altar calling him. "Hyacinth, Hyacinth, I see you are rescuing my son. But would you want to leave his mother in the hands of the desecrating barbarians?" He apologized, saying it was impossible to lift such a heavy weight, but Our Lady replied, "If you had a little more faith and love for me, it would be easy for you to carry this burden." He replied, "I don't want anything but to love and trust you." Immediately the heavy stone statue became as light as a feather, and St. Hyacinth, accompanied by his fellow friars, miraculously crossed the wide Dnieper River and went unnoticed amid the Mongolian troops.